It's Tom from FindTheBestCarPrice.com. Today we're going to take a look at the 2022 Ram 2500. This is the Laramie. This is the 4x4 off-road edition featuring the 6.4 liter heavy-duty HEMI V8 under the hood. You do have the diesel option available. There's multiple options depending on what your needs and or situations are. This particular truck comes in at a sticker price of $66,760. The hood, this is going to be the gas burner, the 6.4 HEMI V8. It makes 410 horsepower and 429 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power makes its way to the ground ultimately through 285/60 tires mounted to 20-inch wheels. Going to find the side steps right there that make getting out of the interior a lot easier. This truck is fairly high off the ground. And here's something I like to show, very easy to do on these trucks. This is the conventional position for these mirrors, but they are towing mirrors. If you look over there on the passenger side, you can see that one is in the towing position. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. That's harder to do than you might think, one-handed. But obviously, that's all you have to do to take advantage of the functionality of those towing mirrors. They do have the turn signal indicators built in for those who may want to know. And just to show you what the remote looks like, pretty easy to figure out. Lock, unlock. You've got remote start right there, and we will hit this button twice to open the rear cargo area. 3,528 on the cargo, or payload, I should say, not cargo capacity, but payload, and 15,060 pounds on towing. That's gonna be kind of hard to show this because I don't know if I can reach far enough in there, but I'll show you that you do have an outlet right there, a power outlet. That is a very nice feature. A lot of functionality here, obviously, for the bed, but I really like what we have in the interior. Let's take a look at exactly what you will find. And taking a look into the interior, there is a decent amount of storage here. You've got the upper and the lower door bins, but one thing I really like here are these in-floor storage bins, one on each side, and they are deep. There's a lot of storage in there, not only here on the driver's side in the rear seat area, but also over there on the passenger side. So that's very nice. You also have an area right here where there's more storage, and if you want to, let's see if I can show this. This is kind of hard to do one-handed, but you can snap that in place like that. Like I said, that's a little hard to do. And it's so easy to hop on up in here. You do have the grab handle if you need it, but those side steps make it so easy to hop into the interior. You've got the drink holders right here, air conditioning vents to keep everybody in the rear seat area nice and comfortable. And on the outside seats, not on the middle seat, but just the outside seats, you've got the heated seats. A couple of different options for USB ports and more connectivity right there with the power outlet. So there is a lot of space back here. Also the map pockets on the rear of both seats. And let me just see here. The driver's seat is somewhat far forward, but even if it wasn't, I have a lot of leg room, very comfortable, and for convenience when there's nobody sitting here in the rear or the middle seat area in the rear seats, you got the fold down armrest with the cup holders. Seat, you're going to find the upper and the lower door bins, a little bit more space, a little bit longer door bin right here than what we had in the rear. You're going to have the lower and upper glove boxes, just to show you what's here as far as available storage goes. And then you're going to have very nice, comfortable seating. Going to have the contrast stitching here. Both seats are power heated and ventilated. There's something I really like that you don't find every time these vehicles come with dual power seats in the front. 8-way power driver's seat and also an 8-way power passenger seat. And you will find a little bit of storage on the side here. It's just kind of a small area. You could put a book in there or maybe a cell phone. I'm not sure what would be perfect to go there. But let's take a look at the multitasking and multifunctional console. You can move this area out of the way completely if you want to. And we'll hop into the main area of interest with the driver's side. Obviously, there's not much difference here with the size of the door bins and functionality here, other than the fact that you do have the controls for the child safety locks, controls for the power mirrors, and one thing you definitely don't find on the passenger side that you will on the driver's side, seat memory right there. Controls for the headlights, and we'll just go ahead and hop on in. We'll hit the push button start, get the engine up and running. Just let you take a look, see the Laramie logo there on the instrument cluster, and just to show you what's here. Obviously, I don't need to tell you a lot about that. You know what's there. Steering wheel mounted controls also, and then up here on the top above the infotainment screen, a little more storage and a 12-volt power outlet. A lot of connectivity throughout the interior here in this truck. We'll take a quick look at what you have here. Let's just go through all the different features as far as what you have. Now, there's actually a couple of different screens where you're going to find navigation, but we'll just run through everything. You've got media and then comfort. That's going to allow you to control the air conditioning and several different things there. You can also see the functionality for the heated and ventilated seats and the heated steering wheel, which you can also control right down here. We'll just give you a quick demonstration of how that works. It's easy to figure out. I probably don't need to show you too much of that. Now, you do have a larger view here of the navigation when you push right there. I don't have a phone paired, so not much to see right there. But vehicle does offer quite a bit to see. Let's go over here to off-road, and you'll be able to see exactly what we have as far as what's available. So vehicle dynamics, that's going to be something. I wish I could show you more about that, but I just don't have a place to do it. Accessory gauges, you can have that information right there. A lot of good information found there. And pitch and roll. I can't show that either, although it would be very nice to. I might have to ask at the dealership if maybe we can do that sometime. And then we'll head back over here and take a look at everything that we have in under controls. Let's take a look at the rear view camera. You don't have to be in reverse to do that, but that will show you what's there. And settings, there are a lot of settings here. Something, again, I don't need to go through all of this. It's really simple to figure out. That's one thing about Ram's infotainment system that you will find in these 2022 models, is that it's very easy to figure out, even if you've never had this kind of technology before. And down here, we've got really everything you've already seen. Controls for the radio up here, hazard lights, you can mute the radio, you can even turn the screen off if you want to. And then if you were wondering, where is the shifter? I basically just showed you right there. There's no shifter on the column, obviously none here within the console area. You have the rotary dial gear selector here, the shifter, whichever you wish to call that, and then some one-touch buttons here. Whether you're in two-wheel drive, you can go into four-wheel drive, high and low, and then if you need, you have hill descent control right there. And some connectivity down here, as you can see, via USB ports. And then here's something interesting that I think will be very useful. This is your wireless charging pad, but here is how you're going to put your phone in to actually charge it. Let me make sure I'm in the right place right there, just so you can see it come on. There you go. You can see that. Now the only thing we really have left to do is hop out on the road for a test drive. Okay, we're gonna hop out on the road for our quick test drive, and real quick, before I forget, there were a couple of options on the side of the steering wheel, on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, to not only adjust the tilt of the steering wheel, but also the button right there. I'm showing you on the screen just so you can see it, to also adjust the position of the power pedals. So we're out on the road right now. Let me just let you listen. You can hear the sound of the engine, but it is so quiet within the cab of this truck. And we'll try this out on a couple of different road surfaces. Right now we're on a nice smooth paved area. We'll get out on some concrete in a little while. We're on asphalt right now. But this truck is very, very enjoyable to drive. It's a truck. It's going to have a little bit of a stiff ride to it when you're not towing anything or hauling a heavy payload back there. But it's not bad, not by any means. In fact, it's just amazing to me how so many of these truck makers have made great strides over the years to improve ride quality. But obviously, you're going to have a little bit of a stiff ride to have good payload and good towing capability as far as those numbers go. But one thing I will say, even though the HEMI V8 under the hood here, the 6.4 liter gas burner, is really a heavy duty version, not a high performance version. When you step on the pedal, you get down the road. It's absolutely no problem. It's not going to plant you back in the seat like a TRX would, but it does get the job done. So when you need to accelerate, especially when you're not towing or hauling anything, it's not going to be a problem, in case you were curious. And the interior is nice and comfortable. You've got this leather wrapped. We looked at the fact that also heated steering wheel. Overall, this is a great truck, and it's really not terribly difficult to get around. Now, this is not the long bed version, so you don't have as much length to deal with here as you would otherwise, but depending on your needs and or situation, if I can get that out of my mouth without any problems, well, obviously you're likely to be used to using or driving something along those lines. So now we're going to get out on a different road surface. Let's see if we can tell a difference. As long as we don't hit this truck pulling out in front of us, that GMC Sierra right there. Wanted to get a good close-up look at the front end of this Ram 2500. I hope he enjoyed that because it was awfully close. And it's on video for the world to see. Imagine that. That's why you need to be a good driver. You never know when you're going to wind up in one of my videos. So that's a good reason to drive better. So let's listen. You hear a little bit of road noise, but it's not bad. I mean, I've been in some luxury vehicles, SUVs and sedans, that aren't this quiet on the interior. So kudos to Ram. This is a great truck in a multitude of ways, and obviously there's other trim levels and a lot of options you can add and change and kind of intertwine depending on what your needs and ultimately budget are. To learn more about the model in today's video, visit the link in the description for a detailed comparison between trims and pricing for the vehicle we featured or any vehicle you may be interested in. These pages feature information such as our recommended trim level based on price, value, and features. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. We look forward to seeing you next time.